Hello, welcome to the second episode of Final Round, a podcast, a Tekken 7 podcast, an anything podcast. Our guest today is on a tour recently, actually. He's won 2 out of 2 tournaments, like every tournament that he's entered so far in Season 3. I think probably one of, if not the best Claudio player in the UK right now. Definitely the most improved. It's RsKyLuck. I know Ms. Lee. Lee, thank you very much for coming on, mate.
Thank you for having me. I watched the last episode and I really enjoyed it, so I was really excited to come on today.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? It was fantastic.
It was really good, yeah, really good.
The best podcast I've ever listened to. So what's going on, mate? Like you've been killing it. Like you at beginning of the month you won Drowning Pools by in Merseyside. And you've recently just won last week as well. So I mean, season three's treating you well, mate. How's it?
It is indeed. My character got buffed. Obviously, I was gonna head away from Claudio a bit because he didn't have any lows, but Harada and Michael Murray sorted me out with that, and I came back to him, and now I'm doing really well with him at the moment, and I'm really enjoying him and really enjoying Tekken.
Yeah, Harada blessed your character definitely.
He did indeed.
I mean, what like? Could you just go through some of the things that you felt were missing from Claudio that are now, making more of a complete character?
So with Claudio, if any Claudio player would know, if you ever did a low with Claudio, no matter which low it was, to be fair, even sidestep 4, you're basically giving your turn up because sidestep 4 were +3, which means that Claudio's fastest mid would trade with a down jab. So then it would get even play again, anyone's go, and his other lows were all minus on hit. So literally, if you wanted to do a low to get a bit of damage in, you'd have to give your turn up for it, which were a bit of a nightmare. So that's why he want the greatest in Season 2.
So they've rectified that in Season 3, do you reckon?
They have, yeah. They made the lows that were minus on hit is now neutral, and his sidestep 4 is now +6 and not +3. So you can't interrupt. He can't interrupt anything he does.
I mean, when the patch notes came out, like the actual notes themselves, not the patch. Claudio kind of went under the radar a little bit, didn't he? Like everyone was so bothered about Katarina's nerfs and all this kind of stuff, but Claudio kind of snuck under as getting big buffs. Yeah,
it's to be fair, there's a lot of people he got buffed hard or he got buffed a little bit. He got buffed depending on how you play him, I guess, because I've just done a video recently about Season 3 Claudio. If you're playing Claudio like a 2D character where you're not stepping as much, then he didn't really get buffed at all.
Yeah.
But if you're sidestepping constantly with him and making people scared of that sidestep 4, then he did get a really big buff. It just depends on how people play him and it's how they see him, if he got buffed or if he's just about the same.
That video that you're talking about, that's your pinned tweet now, isn't it?
It is my pinned tweet, yeah.
So yeah, just a little subtle plug there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think just moving on a little bit, some congratulations are in order. You've now sponsored by Imagine. That's with an E. So I mean, congratulations, man. How did that come about?
Well, I did sort of fell away from Tekken a bit, but I got back into it when Season 3 came out, and I got told by a lot of people, you should pick another team up. I'm like, no, not yet. Season 3's just come out. Let me get back into the game. Let me see if I can, pick up where I left off and maybe even improve. So I felt I were in a good place to join another team, so I sent a tweet out. And to be fair, I got quite a lot of interest back. There were 3 teams that offered me. I won't name the names of the team, obviously, for them. But I listened to what they all had to offer, and I spoke to every single one of them, looked at what members they already had on the team, and I just felt Imagine were the best. They're a new team. A lot of their players are local to me, so offline shouldn't be a problem if I wanted to go training with them offline. And they're fully supportive in how I want to go about Tekken. So, I thought it was the best choice for me.
Is it Joker? Joker plays for Imagine.
Joker does play for Imagine, yeah.
I mean, I think I remember speaking to you actually about it a while ago, and you were saying that one of the reasons that you wanted was to, play against him, kind of thing. I've never seen him play, to be honest. What's it?
I've played him once offline and in a tournament in Birmingham, and I got 2-0'd, and it kind of shook me, and I was like, damn, this guy's actually quite good.
He's a Mishima player, isn't it?
He is, yeah, he is. And I was like, this guy needs to be sponsored or something. I said, he's too good to be thing. So I heard he got picked up by Imagine and stuff, and I was like, oh, that'd be good. And I've been speaking to him, in messages and stuff, and he's on about coming down to Bradford. I'm going to go up to Birmingham and stuff. And I think to be fair, we could help each other, like playing offline against each other, and probably both go quite far within the FGC.
Well, I mean, just looking at the roster that they've got so far, it's a pretty solid team, you know. Who else have they got? Sorry.
So they've got
Marijuana. I can't remember off the top.
They've got Marijuana, Bolt, Peaceman, Kai, and Dom, all up and coming like young players, and obviously
like Joker and you.
Yeah, Joker and me as well. But obviously, me and Joker kind of already sort of got his names established out there through like recent tournament results. So we were already quite known, unlike some of the other ones we've got, but obviously we've played with them, so we know how good they are, and we know how good they're going to be, and we're all just working together at the moment, and hopefully Imagine can get on top along, you know, with your District G and your Elf and your Rise and, you know, them sort of teams.
No, I mean, it's definitely looking that way. It's a pretty solid base that they've got there, and you can only go one way, like upwards, can't you? So,
yeah.
I mean, it's only good from there. I mean, just you was previously with Rise.
Yeah.
My boys, to be honest, like Mike and that, I love them. I mean, you left Rise on good terms. To be fair, you wanted. Am I right in saying that you wanted to go and play Fortnite for a little bit?
So what happened with Rise was I was sponsored as a Tekken player, but I wasn't really playing Tekken so much. I was more into Fortnite. So Rise said to me, "Do you want to just go down to Fortnite and, you know, basically, you know, not that bothered about Tekken anymore, and we'll sponsor you for Fortnite," which gave them room, obviously, to sponsor Eddie, the new player, if I dropped off the roster.
Yeah.
So I picked up Fortnite with him, which lasted about a couple of weeks. And then I was like, no, I'm really good at Fortnite, but I'm missing Tekken. So I want to get back into Tekken. So I thought the best thing for me would be start again. Just start again. No sponsorship, no commitments to anyone, all like that. Take my own time, practice myself, and just get away from that pressure of being a sponsored player.
Yeah.
So I felt that's what I needed to do before I made any commitments to any sort of team again. So I decided to leave.
So do you feel that you're ready for that pressure? Because there is a lot of pressure that comes with being sponsored.
Oh, there is, yeah, because everybody looks up to you. Oh, this guy should be winning this tournament. You know, they should be placing well. So you've got to make sure you're on point to be finishing where you're expected to. But I feel I'm definitely ready to be, you know, taking on some of the best in the country now.
Well, I mean,
under a new team.
I mean, you've been proving it so far, mate. Like you've been racking up wins. I mean, you know, at Drowning Pools at the beginning of the month, it was Eddie in grand final, and you made your way through. It was a pretty stacked tournament as well. Wait, what? I forget it right now, but what was the tournament that you won just recently?
Oh, that was the Newcastle Fight Club tournament.
Yeah.
Up in Newcastle.
I mean, so it's going well for you, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm really enjoying it. I think because I'm enjoying it so much, that's why I'm performing so well.
Yeah, I mean, I seen your face after you won Drowning Pools, and you was like, you could tell you was just buzzing. So
yeah,
that was good to see. Right, something that confuses me about you, mate. See, you used to be one of those epic 360 no scope trick shotters on Call of Duty. How does someone go from playing that to playing Tekken? Because they're not really compatible, are they?
So I was a massive pro Call of Duty player. I played for Saw Gaming, which were a massive team in the Call of Duty scene. I was a trick shotter for them.
When was this?
This was like back in Modern Warfare 2 days, and you know, back in the good old days.
What a game!
COD kind of died off. Like, obviously not the, like, you know, machine gun sort of thing, but the trick shot inside sort of died off. So I kind of like drifted away from COD. And I remember I played Tekken as a little kid, like a really young kid, because my uncles played it, but I did not know how to play the game whatsoever. I mean, I picked a character which were usually Law or Horan, and I just smashed buttons. Like, I was pressing the same button. If I got beat, I'm like, how did you beat me? I don't even get this game. But I heard Tekken 7 were going to get a release, and I just remembered, I used to play that sort of game. So I bought it on release. And this is bad. Law, my first character. I'm like, yep, let's play Law. Let's go on ranked before we even did any practice in the game. Let's go on ranked. And I think I lost 90 games in a row without winning one at beginner rank. And Jesus. I was screaming at my TV. I was like, no, what is this? Why can't I win? I'm pressing the same button. How can they deal with that? So I sold it. So I sold the game. And
you actually sold the game?
I sold the game after about 2 weeks, and I said, nope, not playing that game. And I went to Injustice 2, and I played that game competitively, and I was really good at that game. But it died off. The game died off. I got bored. And then I got an email, which I'd always check my emails from Game, because obviously if you sign up to Game, you get emails and stuff off them. And they were like, oh, come join Belong. So I was like, oh, they might have Injustice 2, you know, as Arena Clash. So I went down to Belong, and they were like, oh, we've got Tekken 7. I was like, oh, that game. So I was like, have you got any other games? And they were like, nope, we've got this, COD, you know, your Overwatch. I'm like, right, sign me up to that. So that's when I ended up getting back into Tekken. I just said, sign me up to it randomly, and then I bought the game again. And this was like February, like I think it was like beginning of 2018. I bought the game again.
So that was, Tekken 7 came out. Was it early 2017?
Yeah, 2017. Yeah.
Or mid 2017. So you only started playing competitively the beginning of 2018.
Yeah.
Mate, that is ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but I started learning the game. I'd say mid 2018. When I first started Belong, I didn't know how to play the game still. At all.
How long did it take you to pick up? I mean, Claudio's your main. So how long did it take you to actually get to Claudio? Did you go through a lot of characters, or was it just like one and done kind of thing?
With the first Arena Clash, it was me, Guki Akuma, and a guy called Jack. And we played obviously a bunch of friendlies. I was playing Law, and I was getting beat up by the likes of Belong Cardiff, Belong Hull, Belong Craigavon, and I couldn't win. Anyway, I can't remember which Belong it was, but I played a team, and there was a Claudio player on the team, and he beat me up. Like I fought down to a 2, were unblockable. I had no idea what was going on. And he absolutely beat me up. And I said to Leslie, Guki Akuma, I was like, well, what is going on? And he went, oh, that's Claudio. I play a bit of Claudio on side, which he did. He played Akuma, and he knew a bit about Kazumi and Claudio. And he said to me, he goes, that seems like your sort of character, that. And I said, oh, do you think? And he went, yeah, let me show you. So Guki Akuma showed me all Claudio's basic combos and stuff. And I said, all right, you know, let's see how it does. So I started learning the character. I started watching players such as Joe Plix and Shadow 20Z. And I went off from there. But the first person to ever show me Claudio and show me how to play him was actually Guki Akuma. So
you learned how to play Claudio from an Akuma player?
I did indeed, yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
I mean, speaking of Guki Akuma, I mean, so when I think of you, or I think of Leslie, Guki Akuma, or I think of Wiki, it's never on their own. It's always in a 3. So it's always you, Leslie, and Wiki and Wiki. So I mean, you're like the Bradford boys. I mean, how have you how did that come about? I mean, have you just started playing from the beginning, or? So
when I joined Belong Arena Clash, I got told that we couldn't have a team because there wasn't enough members signed up. So out of nowhere, I was in a Facebook group. Like, you join your Facebook groups when you do Pokemon and stuff like that. You're like, oh, you know. But there were a Tekken one, so I joined it, and I posted on that group, does anyone live near Bradford? Anywhere near Bradford at all, I would be interested in playing Tekken. And Leslie messaged me on Facebook saying, I live in Halifax. And I was like, oh, bro, come down. We need one more player. And he went, yeah, I'll come down. So he came down, and we played this first bit of season together with Jack, and we got creamed. We got absolutely creamed. And then a random guy came down when we went there, and said to our manager, Aaron, oh, you know, I want to join your Tekken team. And he was like, oh, yeah, cool. He went, oh, I'm from Eden in Leeds. I go there. That's my local. So when we came in, and he'd been telling Aaron about how good he was. So when we came in, obviously we'd been practicing together, me and Leslie. Aaron said to us, oh, there's this guy, you know, he's come from his local at Eden. He says he's pretty good, and he thinks he could take you both. And we were like, you're joking, but let's have him. So we went over to Eden, and there was a tournament going on, and we didn't know which lad it was. And we played the tournament, and me and Leslie got first and second. I can't remember who won that one, but we got first and second because we'd been practicing a little bit. Yeah. And then Wiki came up to the end, and he went, because we had his Belong t-shirts on, he went, oh, you're from Belong? I went down there, I was going to sign up. He went, oh, so it's you. And he went, yeah. And I went, thinking that you can beat us and stuff. And we were just having a lot of banter with him. He was a Horang player, and, you know, we were all pretty bad. And we were like, typical, yeah, come Horang. Yeah. We weren't great. I think we were just bottom orange ranks all together and stuff. And
but that was in season 1, though.
That was season 1, yeah. So we started training together, and we were like, Because for us, there were only 3 of us, so we didn't have an offline scene really, apart from Belong on a Monday. So everything we did came from online. So we started a lot of online like lobbies together that could last from 7 o'clock at night till 5 o'clock in the morning, and we would go over every character, as own characters, what his best options were, and within I think it was 2 months, 3 months, we went from Vanquisher to like Siriu in red ranks, which were quite high in season 1 with red ranks.
Oh yeah, very high. That's like equivalent to like, what would that be the equivalent now?
It's like probably like blue ranks, like maybe Emperor-ish around this season. But we signed back up for Belong, and we were like, let's go again. Us 3, let's go again. See what it's like. We've been practicing for a couple of months together now. I think we're ready. And it came up the first season, and we had to play. We was the first game on stream of us like getting his name out there, and obviously Stu and Niall, Eternal Dragon, and Abominable were like, look at these guys' ranks; they might be quite good. Anyway, we absolutely bodied Belong T-side, and everyone were like, "Wow, who are these guys?" And we were like, it kind of got us buzzing a bit, as if to say, well, we're still new. We can get better than this. We can get better, and we just stuck together ever since. Don't get me wrong; we've had some bumpy like roads. We've argued with each other. We've all fallen out of each other at separate times, but in the end, we always come back together and we always get better together. We do a lot of offline these days.
I mean, I can attest to that because when I went to VSF and I stopped over with Wiki and Goki Akuma, they can argue like an old married couple.
Oh yeah, they can.
I fully agree. So I mean, I've just realised actually this is going to be the most northern podcast ever. I was just listening to your talk, then I was like, Jesus Christ, is anyone going to understand us? No, but yeah. So you was doing the Belong thing.
Yeah.
It's a shame that ended.
It was
such a good platform for new players.
Well, it were really good.
And you made it to the finals, didn't you? Twice,
three times.
3 times. Did you end up winning any?
No, we got second every time. We got close one time. We went down to like final game, but no, we never actually managed to win it.
And it was to London, wasn't it?
Yeah, London every time. Very good team.
Who was it that was playing for London at that time?
The first time it was Senpai Shiki, Amawaj King, and Just So You Know. And then the other 2 times it was Rukang, Gosen, and Haroon.
So that was both the second and third time.
Yeah.
To be fair though, if you think about it, it is ridiculous that you, well, in my opinion anyway, you 3 have single-handedly put Bradford on the map in terms of Tekken. Like,
it's good, isn't it?
I mean, if you speak to anyone about, who do you think are like the top scenes? Number 1, obviously, is going to be London. Because they're just, I think, at this point,
they're good. They are very good players in London.
On another level.
They're who to beat.
Exactly. That's the goals in it. And then, but then a second is probably Bradford.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad we could do that for a scene, because obviously for us, we were just a bunch of lads, didn't know each other, made friends through this little store in town, and now we've travelled the world together. We've took out some of the best players going. Like within the first year, I nearly beat Joey Fury. I took him to final round, and I've been playing the game for about 3 months competitively. Like, everything was going really, really well for us, and it's just getting better and better on the years.
So, I mean, you've pretty much made a name for yourself domestically. Like, anyone that knows Tekken in the UK would have, heard about you at some point. Because you have been taking names and kind of making statements and stuff. Is there any plans in the work to go maybe overseas?
Yeah, so starting next April, I'm going to be attending like nearly enough every TWT tournament, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I was going to do quite a few this year, but I've got no holidays left for work because obviously I got married this year. I went on a family holiday this year. I had to use all my holidays for that, for my honeymoon and my wedding. Yeah, cheers, mate. I had no holidays left to do any tournaments, so this year I've kind of been laid back. Like, well, there's not much I can do apart from a couple of locals. But next year I have no plans, like, really at all. So, like, I'm going to be booking Mondays and Fridays off work and going Friday to Monday to different countries and hopefully taking out some of Europe and probably outside of Europe's best.
That's going to be so sick to see. Because I think you're at that level now where you definitely can compete with them.
That's what I'm preparing for, yeah, definitely. I think I've got enough knowledge of the game. I completely understand my character. It's just holding the nerve and just doing it on the big stage, really.
That's, if you don't mind me saying, that has kind of been your problem.
It has, it definitely has.
You not so much get tilted. I don't think you get tilted. Like I don't think you'd ever get.
I just get worn out and done.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times I've got to grand final on winner's side and lost. Like I've done it so many times. And like in season 2, I think overall there were 4 tournaments. I got to grand final on winner's side and I lost. Like it just happened to me all the time.
So how good must that have felt though when you
against Eddie? Oh, it was amazing.
Eddie.
Like
Eddie
I was
of all
talking,
people though.
I know. I was texting my dad and stuff, and I'm like, right, I'm in grand finals, winner's side. It's time to lose. And he was like, you need to keep your head. And I went, I know, but it just happens to me. And then obviously he absolutely spanked me for the reset, and I was like, oh, it's just going to be one of them. And I just had to like put my head down and think to myself, stop. You've beaten once. You've already beaten once. You can do it again. You get out of your head. Get out of your own head. You can do it. And I managed to pull through.
I mean, I was commentating that game with Spock, and we was both saying on comms, it was like, and this was when he reset the bracket. We was like saying, listen, Lee, RsKyLuck, he needs to take a minute, take 5 minutes, go back to the character select screen, even if he's not choosing a character, just needs to have a breather. But you just kept going straight back into it.
I know. I ended up picking my favorite. Like Violet Systems, one of my favorite stages because I do a lot of combo videos on there. So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna pick that, and I got battered on it, and I'm like, what am I doing? I even thought about switching character. Then I was really gonna switch character.
Who was you going to switch to?
I was gonna pick Zafina. I was gonna pick Zafina. I was like, but then the thing is, if I ain't had that top on that day, I don't know if anyone saw it, but I was wearing a Claudio top, and if you watch the video. When he beat me in the first bracket, after the reset, he beat me the first game. You see me look down at myself, and I'm like, "What am I doing?" And I was like, "Right, I'm going to switch character." And I looked at my top, and I was just thinking to myself, "Look, no, I either win with Claudio or I lose with Claudio. There's no other way about it." If I can't beat him with Claudio, then I can't beat him with anyone else. So I stuck with it.
I think, like, obviously, no offense to you, but I think if you picked Zafina, that would have been game over.
It probably would have done, yeah.
Just because I think there's a chance with other people, like, oh, maybe they don't know the matchup yet.
Yeah, but
you can guarantee that Eddie would have known the matchup.
He would have done.
But mate, you held your battle. You did it for Claudio.
Yeah, I did it for him.
Yeah. So I mean, in the UK, there's no shortage of Claudio players, is there? I mean, I
think there's about 5 or 6
that are worth mentioning. Like, because I know
that I know of in the UK.
You, Holmesy,
yep.
Pun Life.
Yep. And I know Icarus and Arbugs. And there's Lucas as well. Lucas, sorry. So there's 6. I think I know 6.
Icarus is Icarus is more of a
Marduk. Yeah, he plays a lot more Marduk now.
He did well at Mersey at the Liverpool tournament as well, actually.
He did.
So does Jose as well. That's the thing about Manchester. They're
under radar, but they do, like, they get results, don't they? Like, you forget about them for a second. You're like, wait, you can't forget about these players. Like, they might not be like, traveling and stuff, but they'll take you out if you're not concentrating. They'll take you out.
Went down to I lost to Jose Fidel. The Claudio Eddie, not Claudio, Chloe Eddie player.
Yeah.
He bopped me. I think it was 2-0 actually with his lucky Chloe.
Yeah, I've nearly lost to his Chloe a couple times, to be honest.
She's tricky. His lucky Chloe in particular is tricky. He knows how to like adapt to like off-axis situations very well. That's what I noticed about him. But yeah. So there's you, Pun Life, Holmesy,
Lucas, Arbugs.
I mean, who's the one to watch in your opinion?
It depends, because you've got Lucas is new, he's very new to the game, so he's still learning that sort in, like, he knows Claudio, but he's still learning Tekken, so he struggles against, like, different matchups because he just hasn't learned yet. Cause he's brand new. Arbugs you don't really see much of, like, you see him online, he pop up in people's Twitch chats and stuff. Holmesy is by far the best execution Claudio in probably the world.
That's a big statement, mate.
He can pull off combos that I can't do. I've seen, like, some of the best Claudios, like, your Joe Plix, your Shadow can't do. He just does them. And then there's Pun Life, who's just like the craziest Claudio you'll see. He will just do a combo, key charge, and launch you from some sort of way. He's just crazy. He just plays like that. It's just the Pun Life special, in it. So
I mean, how would you describe your style, though?
I condition people very well.
Yeah, I would agree with
and
that.
I'm very fundamental. I know the game inside and out. I know every character. I know all the setups just because I play every character near enough. And I just play solid, to be honest. I sidestep a lot, try and mix you up all day long and just keep you guessing. And I won't play too unsafe.
Well, I mean, you just said that you know pretty much like every character. You know the gimmicks and stuff. So what is it about Lei that you don't like?
The thing is with Lei, it's hard because he's got different stances, so like 5 or 6 stances.
Just for a bit of context, like you've said before that Lei is like your worst.
My worst matchup, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've labbed Lei a couple times, and I know, from without stances and stuff, I know what's high, I know what's punishable, I know like from the Razor Rush, the lows launch punishable, and I know quite a bit of stuff. But when you're actually playing against the character, it can be very inconsistent when he lays on the floor. Like I know my options, but sometimes they miss, and I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on here? That's meant to work," and it kind of throws me a bit. And then when he's in different stances, he has like a low launcher, a mid launcher, but you have to like watch his hands and his feet, where it is. And sometimes I get lost. Like, whoa, wait, which stance is this? And I'm like, wait, do I need to duck here? And I just get really confused. So a lot of time, I get caught off guard by Lei players. For example, when I played in Newcastle, there were a Claudio player, Claudio main. At Tekken King, Claudio, he told me all about his online, his good character. And he played Claudio against everybody, right? I think he knew who I was before I got there. I sat down to play him in like winners round 3. So I'm like, are we doing a Claudio mirror? I don't mind. I can pick someone else if you don't want to play against if you don't want to do the mirror. I don't mind you playing Claudio. And he went, no, you pick Claudio. So I went, right. And he picked Lei. And I'm like, hang on a minute.
Scumbag.
And he looked around at everyone and just started smiling at everyone. And I thought, oh, you know I hate this matchup. But I ended up winning. And I was like, thank God for that. Hopefully I don't have to deal with him again. But luckily I didn't. He lost in losers final. He just one step short. He dropped out. And I was like, oh, thank God for that.
Yeah,
I hate Lei. But yeah, he picked Lei against me.
Oh God, what a scummy guy. Just kidding. I mean, so is the Lei thing, is that a personal thing? Or do you think the matchup with Claudio's bad? Or is it just
I don't think the matchup with Claudio's bad, no. It's just a personal thing. It's just, I need to learn not to get lost in where Lei is, like, and what my options are. For instance, like, Ling players like to go into AOP after certain stuff. I've labbed all that. I know every move I need to use against certain moves, so Ling's not a problem for me. Same with Zafina. Like Zafina recently, obviously she's got weird stances that crush like some mids, some and obviously all highs and stuff. But with Lei, I kind of get lost. I'm like, wait, why is this move not working? It's meant to like pick him up off the floor and stuff like that. But that's just a personal thing. I just gotta keep working on, and I'll definitely get there soon because he's the character I'm focusing on at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Lei's stupid when he starts lying on the floor and rolling around.
Yeah.
I mean, just what you just mentioning Zafina then again. Seems with me, the more I see of Zafina, the more I think that she might not be that good of a character.
She's not great, no. She I don't think her frames are good enough to put her anywhere near a higher tier list because she's got stuff that puts her into stances and stuff, right? But like in certain like stances, you just need to know your options. Like a lot of her lows are launch punishable. She has like one like a snake edge low, but that's seeable. So a lot of time you can stand up against, so he's going to eat a chippy low into a mid. Like for instance, when she goes into that Manta stance, a lot of the time you'll see people do the down 3-1 or the down forward 2. So the down forward 2 is a safe mid launcher. The down 3-1 is a low mid that does not. It's a counter hit launcher. But if you block that, she's obviously really low to the ground. So people like when you're using her, try to do something else after her. So you just challenge with what you know is going to hit her low off the ground. And you'll probably get a counter hit out of it. You just got to know what her options are of each stance, which it isn't hard, but she's not that good of a character at all, I don't think.
So do you not think you'll be picking her in tournament anytime soon?
Oh no! I used her at Drowning Pools for like 1 game or 2 games, but that's just because she was really new and I just wanted to have a go. But I only learnt her so I didn't have to deal with all the shenanigans. I never learnt her to use her in tournament.
Yeah, I mean, in season 2, he was playing a lot of Geese.
Yeah, I was.
Is that still a thing? Is Geese still a
No,
thing
no,
for you
I
in
don't,
season
I
3?
don't, I don't touch keys at all anymore. Not even in practice mode, really.
Just
I
purely
just,
Claudio, is it?
yeah, a little bit of Law, but Law's just for fun, just because he's got some like really cool looking combos and like it's kind of satisfying to execute those combos. But I probably won't even play a Law in tournament like
I
anymore. It's
mean,
just Claudio.
Law's not a bad pocket character to have
No,
though.
he's not. You know, he's good. He's
It's
good.
like
Like,
top
to be fair,
3.
Gus Aiden taught me a lot about Law. He was the one that we've been showing me everything because obviously I've been messaging him and stuff. Because obviously I dropped Claudio. Well, I not dropped him, but I wasn't playing him at back end of season 2. I just completely focused on Law because Law was just a better character and he was a lot easier to win with. So obviously Gus Aiden helped me a lot with that. And obviously my first tournament with Law, I got second. I beat Guki Akuma in winners final with Law. And then I lost to Wiki in grand final, 3-2 for the reset and 3-2 for the after the thing as well against his Hwarang. So, and that was me only playing Law for like 2 weeks. So I was quite impressed that I did so well against them 2 players.
I mean, Law's still in season 3. I mean, in season 2 he was an absolute animal, but in season 3 he's still.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's top 3.
Yeah, he's still the only thing that happened to him was he got his clean hit taken away from his wall damage, so he lost a bit of wall damage. But other than that, he's near enough the same. In fact, he's got more combo potential now.
I think that was the case with all the characters, though, wasn't it? Like all the characters got improved combo potential, improved. I mean, you see these Twitter videos of Geese death combos that would never happen in a real match.
No. People just do it just to show it's possible. It's not impossible to do. It is possible to do in the certain scenarios. But people get a lot of hate for doing them sort of combos. But if you just got all they're doing is they're just showing you what's possible. Like it's very highly unlikely, but it's cool that they've got the execution to do that, and it's quite fun. It's quite fun to see them doing that. Obviously, I don't ever have to worry about it happening to me, but fair play to people that want to show their execution off and stuff. I completely get that.
I mean, what I like about you and what I like about watching you in tournament is just with you saying if someone did like a death combo to you and it hit and it worked and they won the round, you'd probably stand up and start clapping.
Oh yeah, too right. If someone hits something that's like wow. How did he do that? Or wow, that looks so cool. I am just like, fair play. That was even if it's on me, even if I lose the tournament to that round, I'd be like, you know what, that was sick. Hit me up on Twitter. I will retweet that for you. That was so good.
I mean, case in point was with Eddie. Was it the point where he did it? Was it a parry?
He did what's it called? He did forward 3+4, whatever it is. So with Leo, it's if he just does the mid, it's like -12, -13. But there is a low extension from it that counter hit launches. So I didn't expect him to finish it. I thought, well, he's going to think I'm going to low because obviously the thing you're going to do is low parry. Everybody low parries that string. So I thought, you ain't going to finish that string because I'm going to low parry it. But God, I was wrong. He finished the string. He got a counter hit and he did a full wall-to-wall combo and did about 100 and something damage on me and just wiped me out. And it looked so cool. I couldn't even do anything but clap. It was just so cool.
I remember that combo specifically. I mean, I've watched that grand finals about 5-6 times now, just because it is such a good match.
Oh, it was intense. It was really good.
One of the best grand finals I have ever seen. It was just he was like blocking and side step punishing.
Yeah, he's blocked
your
every
side step hop
so
kicks were on point.
Yeah. A lot of like hard reads were going into these games and they were working. It was good. I was very impressed with how many sidestep. Obviously, when I'm at the wall with Claudio, if I sidestep, you're guessing low or mid. Like you're risking getting wall spike if you duck. But he guessed right on so many sidestep fours. I was like, oh my god, what is this? And I asked him after, like, can you see it? And he went, no, just I had a feeling. I'm like, what a feeling, what a risk to duck at the wall against Claudio in season 3. And he went, no, just had a feeling. I'm like, all right, sound.
Who was it that told us after the tournament that it was Tezeron, wasn't it? Tezeron was speaking to us after the tournament and he said something like he was practicing that move specifically for the sound cues.
Yeah, because with Claudio's back 1, with sidestep 4, he don't make a noise. But with Claudio's back 1, he makes a little grunt just as he does it. But you'd have to be really, really focusing to notice that, like, and have instant reactions to be able to react to it. But it is possible, I guess, if you're completely concentrating and just waiting. But he did really well with it. I think one of the things that caught him as well, I kept doing down back 3 with Claudio. I don't know if you noticed, Claudio's big low.
Yeah.
And he kept 11 frame punishing me. the reason I did that is because in season 3, Claudio's down back 3 went from -17 to -15, and Leo's while standing 2 is 16 frames. So he like in the pools and a couple of times in the grand final, he tried doing while standing 2, which gave me a free 13 frame, punish, because he, obviously needs to adapt that. If he's going to launch it, he has to do a hop kick, from while standing, because that's 15 frames. He couldn't use the while standing 2, which he did a couple of times. So that caught him off a couple of times. But that's just me being aware of Leo's frames.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing that kind of game, you're playing Leo, you're playing the character, but you also have to be aware who's controlling the character.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. So it's one of them. Listen, I'm going to completely change the subject for 5 minutes just to indulge myself.
Yeah.
NRL Grand Final this weekend.
Aye.
Who have we got? What do you reckon?
I'm wanting Raiders. I really want Raiders to win it.
Same, just for the sole reason. John
Bateman, yeah, man.
He's a Bradford boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he played for the same club as me.
What, the Bradford? Is it
Dudley Hill? Yeah.
Oh, what a player he is.
He were obviously older than me, but yeah, we came through the same club. And obviously, he signed for Bradford Bulls, like as he were there while I was signing for Bradford Bulls as well.
He's been absolutely killing it this season.
Yeah, very good, very, very good. You can't even fault him. He got the back row of the year or whatever it is, the Daily M Award.
Literally his first year in the NRL, and he's got the back row of the year.
Everyone's always said it as a kid that he were going to go far, and obviously he's proven that. It all comes from hard work.
He's just his strength. He's up above. He doesn't look it, but he's just like.
Yeah, no. Once you see him in person, he's not a big lad.
I mean, that could be inspiring to you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. A young boy from Bradford has gone to Australia and took over the world. Yeah. What's saying you can't go to Evo and do the same thing?
That's my plan next year, isn't it? 2020 Evo champion. I've already got it in bag.
You and me, though, just going at it. Aston Ash is in the background, just going, fuck, I wish I was on that stage. I can't believe you beat me in fucking losers. Have you got plans to go to Evo next year?
Possibly. I just need to check on what. Obviously, I've got to wait for the events to come out and work out how many holidays I've got. Because the thing is with Evo, I wouldn't just go for the weekend. I'd have to go for the week.
Oh yeah,
it's quite a distance and stuff, and I'd like to experience it all. So I'd have to balance out how many holidays I've got and what events I really want to be attending. Because I'll have support off Imagine. They'll support me through some of it, and obviously I've got the money myself. To get over there, it's just working on holidays and which events I definitely want to be going to. I
mean, would that be like a kind of thing where you take your wife, you go for the week? Oh
yeah, definitely, yeah. Take her better on it. I'll put her up for bet. Like, here's my wife.
Just leave her in some casino somewhere.
I bet you my wife for your car.
Yeah, here's 50 quid. Go nuts. Have a good time. See you later. I'm gonna go play in Evo.
I really want to go to Evo and see how I compete in obviously the biggest tournament. I'd like to take on like some of the best. Like for instance, like I like winning. Don't get me wrong. I do like winning. But I want to beat the best. So when I beat Eddie, that was a big thing for me. He's known as one of the best in the country and one of the best like online players in Europe. So for instance, WSO is coming up at the end of the month. I want to be matching Asim, Kane, them sort of players at some point in that tournament, whether it's early on or late on. I want to be matching them players, and I want to show people I can beat them sort of players. When I go international, I want to play the Koreans, bring it on. I want to show that I can counter their sort of play style. Obviously, I'm definitely underdog, but I believe in myself. I believe I can work hard enough to get there, and I can take them on. So why not? Let's see if I can show it.
Mate, honestly, with that, but I believe in you too. I mean, with that kind of mindset, you want to be the best, beat the best kind of thing.
Yeah,
there's nothing stopping you, mate. There's nothing stopping
I would be happy. Like, obviously, if I got to a tournament and like, we've seeded you this place, you're going to be playing, for instance, Ni Chanel ranked you as your first 3 games, I'd be like, get in, let's go.
You'd be buzzing.
If I lose, I lose. That means I need to work on something. There's something I need to work on. So it's never really a loss. It's like, well, I did this wrong. I need to not do that again. And if you win, you're like, right, I won. That's great. But I still need to improve. For instance, when I played Eddie, I did a stream and I watched all my games back, and I had quite a lot of viewers as well. And even the viewers are saying, why are you slagging yourself off when you won? I was like, it's not so much me slagging myself off. It's thinking to myself, what can I do better? What could I have done better to make this win a lot easier than what it turned out to be? And I was just picking out faults in my own game. Like, why did I not punish this here? Why did I not sidestep there? Where's my backdash here and to get out of stuff? Why am I not option selecting this certain stuff? It's just, there's always room for improvement. That's why everyone needs to realize that no one's peaked, no one's perfect at the game. Everybody needs to improve at something.
I do agree with that to an extent, but I think that sometimes when you're playing against an opponent like Eddie, someone that's like top tier, they force you to make mistakes. It's not your fault.
That's true. But everybody's got bad habits. Like that, everybody has a flow chart, should I say? Everybody has a flow chart. Eddie's got a flow chart. I'm not going to say it on it in case I have to play him again. I've got a flow chart. You know, everybody's got some sort of flow chart in them. That can lose you a game and it can win you a game. And when you've got players such as Eddie who are just like coming at you, like the way they do stuff and the way he was doing stuff to me, he'd already planned in his head. So if there's a momentum shift on his side, the moves he was going to do to me, say if he did like one at moments, I think he did QCF 3+4, which is minus on block. He went into a hop kick, which is like he'd already planned he was going to do that.
Yeah.
But obviously it's pressure for me. I've got to realize that why am I letting him do this? I should have took my goal with this certain move instead of what I did because I challenged with a high. It crushed my high. Why did I do that? Because he knew I was going to do that. You know, he'd put that in his head. Like, I'm going to do this move. He's going to challenge with a high. I'm going to get a free hop kick out of it. You just got to always think one step ahead of your opponent, basically. You've got to always be in front, and that's how you win.
It is surprising when you think about it, like how much mind games play a part.
It is. Tekken is a numbers game, a reactions game, and a thinking game. It's a bit like chess, but with numbers. You've always got to think like ahead. What are they going to do? What are their options if I do this move? Like Nee said in the video, if I'm going to throw a move out, you might have 5 options to press after that move. I need to narrow it down to which options you're going to do to know what I'm going to do. So he's always thinking 1-2 steps ahead, and it shows in his gameplay. It's like, how did he block that low? When Arslan won the Evo Japan, he did 1-1 into duck. He got himself really close. He'd 1-1 into duck and expected the demolition man off Paul. How did he know that? Like, it's just stuff. He just knew. He'd put it in that. He'd like a psychic sort of way. He'd sent it across as if to say, "You do this after I do that." It's a weird mind game. Like it's something people are never going to be able to understand. But you've just got to work at it and try get your opponent to do what you want them to do. Don't wait for them to mess up. You make them mess up. That's what good players do. That's
something that I've been like actively trying to put in my game recently. I mean, just like on a personal level, one of my biggest problems is I wait for an opponent to do something and then react to it instead of making me go. Instead of going first, I would like, right, let me feel this guy out. But sometimes you need to just go.
That's why we lost the last belong, because when we were playing against London, although when I beat Gosain twice, I'd watched a lot of like gameplay on Gosain, so I looked out for quite a lot of stuff which he did use against me, which made me win. When we were playing the games, you watch back, it were them all on the attack, and we were just stood there like, when's he going to do this? When's he going to do that? I've seen him do this before. Why ain't he doing it? And we got absolutely battered because of it. Instead of just playing how we'd normally play, we were concentrating on how they played, and we got beat up for it. Because we were waiting for them to make the mistake instead of us forcing them to make the mistake.
I'm just curious what you think if Belong Tekken 7 came back for one more season and it ended up being Bradford Belong versus London again in the grand finals. What do you think would happen this time?
I think
hypothetically.
That depends.
Put you on the spot there, mate.
Are we talking like as in the finals the next day?
I'm talking like who do you think would win it? So the last 2 teams in the tournament, Bradford, London, they're on the big stage. You've got Abominable and Eternal Dragon commentating. You've got Xavier Woods in the middle of them. He's going to win.
London.
Do you still think London?
But if it were right now, yeah. Because personally, myself, I would be absolutely fine. I reckon I could take. Probably I won't win every game, but I'd be getting games on them. Wiki's going through a state at the moment where he don't really want to be playing Tekken. So
Which is fair enough.
that's a personal thing. I don't want to obviously get into that. That's the way he's feeling at the moment. So his head really won't be there. So I doubt he'd be playing well. And I'm not too sure about Gukia at the moment. He had a bit of a suffering at Lyon, so his head might be down after that. But personally, myself, I'd be fine. But I reckon everybody on a good day, we could beat London, definitely. If we all played our best, we could definitely beat that team.
I would 100% agree. I mean,
it'd be hard because they are sick. Like Rukang, Haroon, and Gosei, and I have mad respect for as players. They are insane at the game.
I mean, that goes without saying, doesn't it, mate?
Gosei, definitely best law UK. Rukang, definitely best Bob UK. Haroon's obviously in that battle with K-Wiss, False God, and Wiki about best Hwarang, but like he's up there. I definitely respect him. Like them sort of players are insane at the game. Like I'd have to be completely on point to beat them.
To be fair with you saying like Gosei best law in the UK, Rukang best Bob in the UK, would you not? I mean, why not EU? Do you not think they're best in the EU?
Well, that's hard to say because obviously Gosei played Dritten Rama, didn't he, in an offline set for best law, and he got beat up quite badly.
Yeah, that's right.
Rukang, you probably could say best Bob, but then again, how does he do against that DBP? Because I think he's from Germany as well. He's really, really good, and I've never seen that. For instance, like people saying, obviously, me being best Claudio UK, like even like every Claudio player says it. I don't like to say it myself, but obviously every Claudio player says it because I don't want to put that sort of pressure on myself. But obviously, I do teach a lot of Claudio player stuff. But best Claudio Europe is Joplix right now. I can't argue that. I played against him in Sweden. Everybody's like, you two need to play. You two are the best in Europe. You need to go out, see who's better. So we played in season 2 over in Sweden in a first of 5, and I lost 5-1.
Good again.
And I was like, well, I have mad respect for this guy. This guy is so good. Like he plays Tekken. He plays it so well. And he's not just he's not just the best Claudio in Europe. He's one of the best players in Europe right now. He's winning so many tournaments. Yeah. But like people say, "Oh, who's the best?" But then again, it's on the day. There's nothing that stops people from, like, for instance, I'm on a really high at the moment, winning everything. I could go to a tournament next week, Liverpool, whatever, come across you, for instance, and you could 2-0 me 6 rounds straight. That's it. That's all it takes. It's 2 games. It's 2 games. That's all it does. Like, for instance, I played E minor not long ago. We had like 30-something games. I think the score finished 30 games to 2 to me in games. We played in a tournament set at Liverpool, first to 3. I won 3-2 right near the end. Anything can happen on the day.
That is a good point, actually.
Anything can happen on the day.
There's a few group chats, and I remember Emana once wasn't upset, wasn't salty, but he's a good lad, is Emana. I mean, yeah, shout out to him because he's a sick player.
Coming on. Yeah, he's coming on.
Watch. But I remember him saying that, and this was before the Liverpool tournament, that he lost to you 30-2, like 30-2. And then, so when he played you in Liverpool, I was expecting, oh shit, this is going to be a blowout. Oh, he's going to still be.
That's what everyone expects.
Thinking about his set, but I mean, But with you saying that, I mean, I tend to agree with you with saying like, oh, the best in the UK, the best in the EU doesn't matter because it's all a bit on the day. Yeah. But when I talk about like the best in the UK, or when anyone talks about the best in the UK, you have to base it on consistency. You
do. You can say that. Like, for instance, you've got Asim and Kane and Chikamaru who are going to these tournaments. They're placing really, really well. They're always at the top, right? But you can't argue that they're not the best in the country. You can't argue that they are the most consistent. They're very good. They're hard to beat. But me saying that doesn't mean that, like, for instance, a really like unknown player like Lucas, new to the game, new Claudio player, new to Tekken, he could beat Asim 2-0 in a tournament. Nothing could stop him from doing that. It just depends on the day. But that wouldn't take away from Asim that he's still probably the best player in the country. It's just on the day, anything can happen. Like literally anything. Like when I was playing E minor, like everybody were like, "Oh, you should, you've got this comfortably." I never lose to E minor in tournament. I always beat him online. I should have this. But that day, man, I was scared. Oh, like this, I'm gonna lose. This, what is this? Why is he so good? Where's this come from? And I was thinking to myself when I beat him, man, I really hope Eddie beats E minor. I don't want to play E minor again. I'll lose because, but to everyone, RsKy always beats E minor. He's always has beat E minor. But on that particular day, Iman, he was hard. He was so hard to beat, even though his character's not the greatest. He's not being happy with it. That was hard. That was like one of the hardest games I had to play. I had to really focus there. I didn't show it, but I was sweating. I was freaking out. Like, what can I do? I'm stuck. What can I actually do against this guy?
I mean, you came onto you came behind the commentator's desk, didn't you, after the game, and he was like, "Listen, shout out to Iman," kind of thing.
Yeah, he deserved it. Like this, like the work he'd put in there. Like I can't say I thought it was going to be easy, but I thought it would have been easier than what it was. I'm like, well, I know his play style, I know his habits, but then again, he's just changed everything. He's not even doing this stuff anymore. What's going on? It just shows that on the day, although he didn't win, on the day, he could have gone either way. That could have gone either way.
I mean, the thing is with Iman as well, he's 15.
He's 15. Oh yeah, he's got a really bright future.
Imagine what he's going to be like when he turns 20.
Exactly, and he'll have a lot of experience in Tekken as well as Eliza. He'll have a lot of experience within the game. He's only going to get better. It won't get worse. He's only going to get better.
Imagine if one day he picks a proper character too.
Exactly, and if he gets proper fundamentals, he's going to be really hard to beat.
Sky's the limit. I mean, I do think he's kind of, and that's the case with a lot of like Akuma players as well. They've kind of hamstrung themselves.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard. It's hard
by coming into a 3D game and not learning Tekken. They've not learned Tekken.
It's hard. It will be if Akuma comes out of the game. I wouldn't say it's going to set them at zero because they'll still have all the knowledge of their characters, but it's going to knock them down a bit. But that's up to them to build themselves back up. If it comes to Tekken 8 and Claudio's not in the game, then I'm going to have to main someone like I probably would main like Dragunov or Law.
Yeah.
But my level will drop in terms of like I need to get comfortable with this character, not my knowledge. I'll still know everything, but I won't be at the same level. I'd have to build that back up, and that's what they're probably going to have to do if Akuma comes out of the game. But with the players like Kaipa, Super Akuma, and Guki Akuma, I definitely think they're able to do that. They're all really good. They're all really good players.
Oh yeah, I've no doubt that everyone will adapt. I mean, like you said, Goki Kuma's put a video on Twitter last night actually of him playing Lee.
Yeah, he does. He does play Lee as well. Like secretly does play Lee. Obviously, I'll never bring him out in tournament. He's Akuma through and through, but he does have a Lee. Yeah, he does practice with Lee every now and again.
It's funny that because Super Akuma's pocket character is also Lee.
Yeah, the twins, aren't they?
Well, maybe it's an Akuma thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Right, Lee, RsKyLuck. Thank you very, very much for your time, mate. I appreciate
it. No problem, bro. Thanks for having me on.
No, it was a good chat. Best of luck with Imagine. Best of luck with the new bride. best of luck with any future kids that are on the way. You know what I mean, mate? But thank you for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Cheers for having me.
Right, see you later, mate.